and the director of the Buck Institute in Novato, California, whose name
Jan Zweig. Is it Jan Zweig?
Right, for a moment, I can't. Dale.
Oh.
It's,
I thought it was Hans Wieg. He also is, or his is genetic drift theory of aging, I guess. Maybe not program theory, but yeah. So you found
so
a few.
Here are some of the high-profile people around the world who are Dale Bredesen, B-R-E-D-E-S-E-N.
Oh, okay.
Dale Bredesen.
Dale, okay.
Is probably the most prestigious person in the U.S. who's an advocate for programmed aging. So these are people who have come along, maybe in the last 5 to 10 years, who have a big stake in the field and are prominent researchers who are now advocating the program theory.
Okay. So you certainly notice more people coming along lately working on the program theory.
I think momentum's in our direction.
But you would certainly say that some of the engineering damage repair SENS strategies certainly would have some use, you would say, in prolonging life, anyway, in combating disease. Say if we came up with a glucosapan breaking enzyme tomorrow, and it was safe for human use, I mean, I from what I know, I would take it, because that's one of the major, reasons our skin ages, apparently, from what I've seen. And it's one of those advanced glycation end products that builds up throughout our lives. So I'm just saying, I mean, even though you see a lot of, and you're a proponent of the program theory of aging, do you see some benefit in some of the SENS strategies or some of these damage control engineering aspects?
Well, let me say, I've got a lot of affection for Aubrey personally.
Okay.
And I think he's done a tremendous amount for the field. He's brought us a kind of respectability and
notoriety,
attention, press.
Yes, he certainly has.
That we never would have gotten without his energy and his creative thinking. But I do think he's going about it the wrong way. I think that solving 100 engineering problems is not going to be the way to go. That the way to go is going to be to find the upstream regulators of aging. It's just going to be a handful of things that we need to do. And we're going to need to target in on them very specifically. And, if you think it as Aubrey does, you would say, well, let's get more CoQ into those mitochondria. Let's prevent the oxidative damage. And you do the experiment and you find out, paradoxically, that has the opposite effect that you'd expected it to have. Certainly the opposite effect that I expected it to have. That it actually shortens lifespan to put more CoQ in. So yeah, all of these research, all these areas of research need support. Absolutely, I'm an advocate for more research. We don't know the answers, so we should be looking at everything.
Sure.
And in terms of cost effectiveness, I mean, your listeners here don't need any reminders that in terms of cost effectiveness, this is much more cost effective than the great majority of medical research that's out there. So yes, the things that Aubrey is advocating certainly deserve more support, but if I had to bet, I would bet more on the kinds of things that Rose is talking about. Finding these regulatory genes and finding ways to interfere with their products downstream.
Okay. Well, with that, that's a great conclusion, and I want to thank you very much for taking your time this evening to answer the questions I had and those of the viewers, and hopefully in the future maybe we get some big breakthroughs in some of the flies or mice and some of the program theory of aging. Maybe we'll have you on again to get your opinion on those items. So again, thank you very much and have a good evening.
Well, thank you, Justin. It's my pleasure.
All right, there you go. That was Dr. Joshua Mitteldorf of, He's working out of a university in Arizona right now. Arizona State, I think. Tucson. I forget. Sorry about that, Dr. Mitteldorf. But, yeah, a lot of great information, I would say, on the program theory of aging versus the damage theory of aging. A lot of stuff. And like Shepard said, Jeremy, in the chat here, on his web page, he has a lot of links to a lot of this information. Shutting off Skype. A lot of information on caloric restriction. He's coming out with a book on the evidence for the program theory of aging. I have chapter 5 in front of me, Dying on Purpose. It's about evolutionary biology. But anyway, that's something to look forward to as well. So yeah, check out his website. Model Cadet has been doing a great job posting that link. So if you're just tuning in, maybe you caught the end of the interview there, that's something that you'll want to check out. His homepage, a lot of great information on nutrition, caloric restriction, hormesis, and the program theory of aging, things like that. So you can check that out. Now, I got a couple other items I want to get through before we hit the end of the show, kind of dovetailing with what the interview was about, caloric restriction here. This was a top news story of the week and created some discussion at the Institute. Eating less may not extend human life. Calorie restriction may only benefit obese mice. That was the headline on Science Daily here, as you see in the graphic. And we ended up having a discussion there. If you go to the caloric restriction forum at the Institute, you will see this discussion. And, this scientist who did the study, he had some genetically engineered mice, some that were genetically engineered to be obese, and some that were genetically engineered to be thin. And the ones that were genetically engineered to be thin, did not get any lifespan benefit from caloric restriction. However, I would say the evidence for CR, caloric restriction, is heavily in favor of it extending life and extending health, making you healthy. I mean, the evidence against caloric restriction is minute, but this is one. And Michael Ray made a post in that forum, in that discussion, and that's always worth reading. Michael Ray did. He stopped by and gave a little thrashing to this research, let's just put it mildly. So you can read that. Good discussion going on at the Institute. Something else that I promised I would mention until the date actually arrives, and that is the Life Aid Against Aging. Hey, yeah, that's going to be done by the HEALS organization. HEALS in Europe, just starting up. It's meant to bring life extension, the idea of life extension, to Dutch and French-speaking areas of Europe, but they're planning an anti-aging concert. It's in the formative stages. They could use some help. You know, every Sunday in the morning there's a little meeting. They get together, Sven and Angelique and Didier, all generally show up, and they're discussing this concert, and it's going to be in July. That's the preliminary date, July 14th in Brussels. And this is a Life Aid Against Aging concert that's going to have some great music and hopefully have a couple of speakers about anti-aging, and like Aubrey de Grey. Trying to book him. He's a tough guy to book, but maybe, you never know. But I promise we're going to keep talking about this. We're going to hopefully get some money drummed up to put on this concert. And Sven, who's helping organize this, and this is the logo that they've created so far for the event. Sven is hoping to donate all of the proceeds to Lysosen's research. So that's another reason to stop over in Brussels for the Life Aid Against Aging concert. And as he mentioned, it's going to be broadcast live on this channel in July when it occurs. Okay, July 14th is a preliminary date. Hopefully that will be the date, but we'll keep you updated with this show every week until it occurs. And we're going to use this channel the best we can to broadcast the concert live, so you can tune in. And through the Ustream, there is a possibility, there is a way to plug into the main soundboard of the concert, so you can get high fidelity sound. And it's not just going to be some webcam microphone picking up the music. So hopefully that will we'll get that all set up, and it'll broadcast